Fadi.
So you clearly said that you were not given any prior notification about this. However, the phone call took place while this operation was underway. So during that phone call, did Mr. Gallant inform Secretary Austin about the operation?
Yeah, so I'm just not going to get into more details of the call. Fadi, what I can tell you is exactly what I said at the beginning, which you can, take inferences from that. But Minister Gallant spoke with Secretary Austin as this operation was already underway. Again, it happened within the last few hours, so we're trying to get more details.
And I believe on Wednesday you said you haven't seen any indication that there's any imminent Israeli incursion into Lebanon. However, today the Israelis announced, the IDF, that they're mobilizing 2 of their brigades in the north. Does this recent activity change your assessment of the situation on the northern border of Israel and whether they're preparing for an invasion?
Somewhat to Natasha's question, we're still assessing, and that remains to be seen. We certainly don't think a ground incursion is the right path forward. That's something that the Secretary has been pretty clear about in his calls. And what we don't want to see is a wider regional conflict. And so that's why you've seen, from the president's level to the secretary, the continuing engagement for diplomacy. And we believe diplomacy is the best path forward.
And finally, if I might.
Sure.
I'm sure you guys were following Mr. Netanyahu's speech from the UN during the UNGA. Was that a speech that gave you hope that the diplomatic solution can succeed and the Israelis are open to a diplomatic solution?
I think every time that we engage the Israelis, we have a good and direct conversation with them. I think diplomacy is not off the table. I think everyone wants to see this resolved, and the way it is going to get resolved is through diplomatic channels, so we're going to continue to push for that. I'm going to go to the phones, and then I'll come back in the room. I saw you, Charlie.